Backer, TC Backer. TC Backer, TC Backer. TC Backer, TC Backer. TC Backer, TC Backer.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Chris Baker.
And I'm Ty Backer.
Welcome to Behind the Tool Belt with TC Backer Construction. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their week. We got a scorching week this week. I know the guys have been going through it this week out in the field. Hopefully this is the last one of the season, the last week of the season. Well, I'm okay with the back down in the 80s a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's get a couple more weeks of the 80s. These 90-degree days. These guys are hurting out there. So hopefully everyone's enjoying their week. It's a lot of back to school for a lot of the kids out there. So I know, us parents at home, it's been kind of hectic at home and stuff, getting back into the normal routine and everything. So
today was Rocket's first day of school.
Yeah, we didn't want to send on the bus first day today.
Yeah, they didn't want us there. 7th grade, too cool.
Yep.
Too
so
cool
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, too cool to have with parents. And you know what I found funny tonight when I got home, we got him a new pair of white sneakers for school, and he got them dirty already.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's got his 3 cans of sneakers, shampoo, and I'm like, dude, I don't think you want to do it because it's got the cap's a real harsh scrub brush on it, and the type they were Adidas, and
it's like mesh.
Yes, it's mesh, and I was afraid, and they were pure white.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's on it. Kind of looks like grease.
Yeah.
So I said, why don't you have your mom wash them because they look like they definitely will hold up in the washing machine. So. But I thought that was kind of cool because that was something that I did.
Right.
But I don't think I got my shoes back dirty the first day.
Right.
Of school. I think I was good for about a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A week. I was paying attention, making sure I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't ask him what happened.
Yeah, Rocket, if you're watching, man, from one sneakerhead to another, the secret is you got to get a soft bristle toothbrush, warm water, and whitening toothpaste.
There you go.
Right? You heard it here first. That's the secret. Make sure you don't let it dry on there, wash it off, but that's how you get your white kicks
right on
back to dry. So
there you go.
There's your little nugget for the day, everyone. I usually charge for these, but this one's free.
The more you know. Good deal, brother. That was actually a helpful hint. But I mostly wash mine. I'll put them in the washing machine. My Vans, I do. Now the suede ones I won't, but the mesh ones I do. Right. But I thought that was cool. His first day of school. Yeah.
There's not many 7th graders out there that really care, grass stains and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It took me, it honestly probably took me till I was in 8th, 9th grade before I started walking around puddles and walking on the sidewalk and you know what I mean? But that's cool, man. It's a good habit to have. I know when I first meet somebody, one of the first things I do is look at their shoes.
Yeah.
I feel like a pair of shoes tells me a lot about somebody.
Right.
What much else would you still do?
Your personality matches Chicago is.
That's right. So let's tell a funny story here. Okay. So my friend Bucky over here, he's been actually working here, and you probably don't know that since Friday, Thursday. Bucky showed up and he's like, I want to come to work here. I said, okay. On Thursday. Alright? Basically is what happened. Like I can't get him out of my office. Right? Like annoying the shit out of me. I'm like, all right,
fine, man.
Yeah. Fill out the W2, get the hell out of here. Okay. About an hour after that, Lauren texts me and says, who in the hell is this Bucky dude out here? He's getting on my freaking nerves. I'm like, he's a buddy of mine. He's cool. He's ready to go. I can tell he's ready to go because at this point in time, I think it's like 5:30 in the morning. I'm just kidding. It wasn't.
It was like 7 a.m.
Yeah, it was about 7 a.m.
Yeah.
We get here early, but it takes us a minute to kind of wake up, and you were all jacked up. But anyhow, long story short, so Chris shows up, and I said, hey man, meet Bucky, my right-hand man. No pun intended. And Chris was like, what? I thought I was your right-hand man. But
Here it comes.
30 minutes later, Chris's mom texted him and says, "You know that dude's your cousin."
Yeah, so I got a one-armed cousin.
Sure, one-armed cousin.
I mean, that's pretty cool. We got it all going on here at TC Becker, man.
Yes.
If you guys can't tell, this is the kind of environment we like, man. It's
Yes.
very loose.
Yes.
Laid back, yet serious environment. We love what we do.
Yes.
And we are always hiring, man. If anyone out there is looking for a job, looking for a change of career, even if you got a good gig, man, there's nothing wrong with checking out the other side of the fence, man.
For real.
I mean, you
For
never
real.
know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
You can change your life.
Yes.
So, check us out. Hop on our Facebook page, send me a message, send Todd a message,
Definitely.
send a message, anyone on the TC Backer team. You can actually fill an app out right on our Facebook.
Yeah.
We're hiring for
Or
numerous
website.
positions.
Yeah. Check
And
us
our
out.
website.
Yeah. On the
So
website.
definitely, please
Yeah.
check us out. We're always looking for good people.
Yes.
The only requirement, we like you to have a driver's license, although there are certain cases where we can work around that. And you've got to have a good work ethic. I don't want to have to call you to get you out of bed every day
Yeah.
and call you to ask you to put a hard day's work in. So those are my only two requirements, man. This is a great place to work. We're growing at an exponential pace.
Yes.
So right now is a great time to hop on.
It is.
So
It is, and we're doing a lot of interior work on the company, the infrastructure of the company. So there's a lot of changes going on right now, but a lot of exciting changes.
yeah, man.
Like, no doubt, a lot of exciting, a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. Chris, you started this whole process with JP, and it inundated you so much. I mean, that's how elaborate the system is, but how seamless it's going to be
Right.
once we meet that finish line. We've had it switched over to many hands. Flash Ad was involved with it, Tam, and I'm sure there's a couple other people in between
Right.
who's tried to get us to the finish line, and I'm starting to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, absolutely.
With this new
Dude,
CRM.
I look back and I think it was December when we first started looking at this program. It was either late December or early January that we first started looking at this program. You guys remember how confident we were? We're like 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days without this thing.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
9 months later.
Right?
That had to be a tough
You know what I mean? 9 months later, but
Yes.
like there
We're
was
here
zero.
right now.
It's not like there was procrastination. There wasn't. I mean, we've been working on this non-stop. I know
Yeah.
myself. I put countless hours, on the clock, off the clock, at home,
Absolutely.
all that stuff, trying to get this going. And Tam and all them came in at a perfect time.
Yes.
When I was starting to needed to be subbed out. I was starting to get burned out with
Yes.
the process.
Yes.
They took it over, and it was a great timing, man, because everyone that's been involved with it now has taken that step that hump that I couldn't get it over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you just got to do that. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why it's a team effort. That's why you have team members. It takes a village to do this thing.
Yes.
Man. So
That was freaking amazing.
you know,
And it takes people from all walks of life.
right.
We were talking about that in one meeting. It takes with people from different career backgrounds. It's so crazy. Who would have thought we would need a fleet manager?
Right.
Like, seriously,
Yeah.
like when I was laying in bed when we first started this whole entire thing many years ago, few years ago, not really even that long ago, the furthest thing from my mind is at some point in time in my career, I'm going to need someone to manage the vehicles. To pay attention to how many miles are on, does the tires need checked, do the brakes need checked, does it need an oil change?
Right.
Like who you don't even think that's not even in a dream. You don't even dream of that. You know what I mean? Honestly, I was laying in bed hoping that I could pay my guys, and then and that's why I always say I would much rather lay in bed worrying about how are we going to get it done than lay in bed and try to figure out how I'm going to pay my bills. And that's kind of the mentality that I've had since day one. When I went out on my own, I went out to Bayshore and Polar. I had a Ford Explorer Sports Tracks, and I went out there and I traded that thing in. I bought myself an F-150. It was red back then because I always liked the red, black, and white. But it was a red truck, and it just seemed like over the years it was more difficult to find red trucks. It was easier to find white work trucks. Hence where the white work trucks came from. But there was no looking back. You know what I mean? There was no turning back. There was no looking back. Failure wasn't an option. But there's been many failures and trials and tribulations along the way, but they've been all learning experiences. Knowing that I can't do everything was one of those biggest growing pains, that I've gone to. I got to let go. I'm the bottleneck of the company. company. And, you know, we talk about, you know, when you came on and why you were hired initially and, you know, to sit behind the desk all day long, you know, and crunch numbers and stuff like that. But now you're the senior service manager of our largest division throughout the entire company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is our Maryland and dipped into Northern Virginia and over into some of Delaware stuff you do for us. And who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? And we got Vic who does you know, our costing and now our sound guy for the videos and stuff like that and whatever else we need him for. I mean, he's got a security system, alarm system, camera system background, and so anything that goes wrong when it comes to those kinds of things around here, you know, Vic's the guy that we call on. You know, because of his background and business experience, he fit in well. So that's what I mean by, like, it takes all walks of life. Different beliefs, different backgrounds. Tam, she came from the cell phone world, a corporate world, who's helped us implement, you know, different processes and procedures and you know, just things that I didn't think about. Right.
Yeah.
Things definitely. Like she was the one who's like being the fleet manager. You know what I mean? She was the first one that brought to my attention, other than my dad, that we needed an organizational chart. You know what I mean? Right away, after I think the first week or two, I had brought her in my office and was like, okay, what do you think? Pros and cons, what do you see? And the first thing she did for me was make an organizational chart, and it was a circle. That all revolved around me. That basically there was no decision being made in this company without me. And it really opened my eyes, and it really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
You know, a few months ago, really. I mean, we knew that. I think we all knew that. But to get a fresh set of eyes to look at it and have her point it out to me, it's like, okay, so it's not an illusion. It's not, because some days it's so close to my face, I can't see any further than my nose. Really. You know what I mean? But to have a fresh set of eyes come in and say, look, this is what I see. And she's from a corporate background.
Right.
And so she, man, very impressive right out of the gate. Like Chris said, we're always hiring top talent, and this can be a good segue into, and I'm sure we'll get off topic, but Bucky here showed up, said he wanted to work. Now, obviously there was some communication before that morning. He came rolling in here, but basically he wasn't taking no for an answer. And that's the kind of people we want.
Absolutely. Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Rejection was not an option.
Right.
You know, and we feel like he's going to be a good representation of the TC Backer family and name. We feel like the area where we're putting him is in the sales department with Tom and Kevin and Lauren and now Sarah. Sarah started. We got a new lady starting on the 13th. Her name is Ashley. She comes from the banking world.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So there are all of these people who we need that have these different types of background. Tom came from sales. What did we need? We needed a salesperson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what kind of sales, but he was familiar with numbers. You know what I mean? He's familiar with sitting in someone's home, doing in-home consultations, doing inspections, doing things of that nature. And I'm hoping with Ashley coming from her experience and her background of being in just about every position there is to be in the banking world, she should work out. No, we're not a bank, but we crunch numbers around here. So we feel like she'll be a good number cruncher for us. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be smart. I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I am smart enough to know that I need to surround myself around people who are smarter than me in other areas that I'm not so smart in.
Right.
And really, that's the bottom line.
Right. No, I mean, it makes sense, man.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And I think we're doing a pretty good job.
I think we are too, man.
We got a great team.
We do.
You know, all the guys and gals that work with us, from the guys in the field,
Yes.
you know, from the guys that pick up materials,
Absolutely.
The whole way up to, you know, yourself. You know, everyone in between there. I think we have a great team. We all work great together.
Right on.
There's a lot of respect that goes on around here. You know, everyone respects each other, has each other's back. And
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's the place that I want to work. I mean,
Right on.
that's where I want to put my effort in.
Yep.
How'd you get here, Bucky? Let's hear your backstory, then.
The sugar-coated version.
Yeah.
The sugar-coated version.
Yeah. Give us the dime, the nickel, the nickel version. Keep it clean.
All
So
right.
what's
Keep
your
it
work
clean.
history? Give us some of your work history.
Work history, real simple. Joined the Army at 17, served till I was 25, got out, did some electrical stuff, installing stuff with Vic, all the security and all that kind of stuff. And my last two major jobs have been actually in the recovery field, trying to help people with mental health and with substance abuse problems.
Awesome.
Essentially, my job is to help them help themselves get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's never a good idea unless you think it's a good idea, right?
Right.
That's right. So it was my job to make them think it was their idea to stop.
Right.
And I figured I would probably take that talent
Mm-hmm.
and use it somewhere else in my life.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Right on.
I mean,
That's
if,
cool.
if you can talk an addict into not being an addict anymore, you can probably sell somebody a roof. So.
Or an insurance company.
Or an insurance company.
Selling on the fact that these people need a roof.
That's right. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So that's why Bucky's here.
Yes.
You know, in a nutshell. But we admire that he was a veteran just like Thomas. And Tom's here, by the way. That's why I keep pointing over there. He looks like he's been through a battle.
I know, right? It looks rough right now.
Yeah. But that's because he worked so hard, I'm sure. Yeah, I lost train of thought there. I'm sorry, Tom. Your hands are facing the glare. With the lights in here and the glare off the top of your head there.
Shine that something.
Then go find him a hat or something. So I can focus over here.
Got a glare.
Yeah, I can't focus very well. Sorry, Tom.
It needs an
You
overall.
alright? You sure you're alright over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Am I going to be your left eye guy?
Yes.
Okay. That's fucking
You got a right hand and a left eye going on here.
Right.
We always think the whole person.
Listen, he's deaf in his what? Your right ear?
My right ear.
And I'm deaf in my right ear. So that's why we're sitting the way that we're sitting.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we had to strategically plan this.
Oh,
Like, all that went in his-
I'm good. I don't know about you, Vic, but I'm good, bro.
Everyone was wondering why we were late tonight because we were trying to choose the pecking order of how we were going to sit. Yeah.
This is my spot. I wasn't giving it up, so I'm just kidding.
That was an easy one. But yeah. So who's on here tonight? You got Lorena.
We got all kinds of people on here.
He's got a dirty eye. Lauren said you got a dirty eye. What's that mean?
I have an ulcer on my eye.
Oh, really? It's not poop? You don't get poop in your eye or anything like that?
He's got poopy
There's no fecal matter in my eye.
Pink eye, man.
No pink eye.
No pink eye.
Okay,
I wouldn't be here if I was.
Girls at home farting on your pillow, ain't it?
Oh, my. That's a sick joke.
Oh, boy.
You're playing on somebody. That's
See,
not
what
right.
is that?
That's not right. That's not right.
Yeah, it's not. That's not. It's not.
Now, we got a bunch of people. My mom's watching. Dawn, what's up, Mom? Alan Tyson, a.k.a. Zach Fisher, is in the house. I got you, Zach.
Zach.
Lauren Honka, what's going on, girl? Colin Cross, nice to see you here, buddy. Thanks for watching. David Bruno, as always, every week. He's another religious watcher. Thank you, buddy. Mike Brown from down in Maryland. Huge supporter of TC
Yes,
Backer.
for sure.
Appreciate you always watching, Mike. Make sure you get in touch with me. Let me know how your shingles are holding up and when we can get back to do that final walk once your solar panels get installed. So we can rewalk that sucker. We got Brittany Butler. What's up, babe? Watching from home. Her and Kennedy are probably watching right now. Kennedy had her first day of school. She loved it.
Nice.
Made some friends. So she switched districts this year, so she's kind of nervous. But everything was great, man. As I knew it would be. She's a good little girl. Tina, what's going on, Tina? How you doing? Nathan Baker, Diane Brooks. And that's all I got on my list, man.
Right on. I saw Diane. Tina. Tina said, hey, Bucky. Nate Baker. Diane, I got your email today. Great promotional stuff. Thank you for sharing that. We'll have to sit down sooner than later to go over. We got some home shows coming up. Not anytime soon, but hopefully we can be a little proactive this year and throw some really cool stuff together like you did for us last year. Speaking of things coming that will be here sooner than later, as most of you know, our first annual food drive went without a hitch. I mean, just great, phenomenal. I was just telling somebody that today. I think Mike Hanscom, I was telling him that today because we finished up the taxes. We had to file an extension. And he had commended us on, because obviously he sees our charitable donations. He was like, well, I was like, hey, it is what it is. You know,
Right.
it's what we do.
Right.
But anyhow, I had told him how we gave the union, what was it, like 42 or 4,700 pounds of food on top of the monetary donations that we gave them. So that was their biggest contribution that they had ever received before, as far as one shot of the pounds of food being donated to them. So that was pretty cool. But what I really wanted to talk about was the 21 turkey salute that will be here way sooner than we can all imagine. So because just the way that this year's flown by, like you said earlier, summer's here it is at the end of August already. September's right around the corner. But we got that'll be in November. What day did we say it was going to be? November 24th?
I believe it.
The day before Thanksgiving?
Day before Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Dottie's wants to be involved with that. We're going to get them involved. We'll probably end up getting all of the turkeys there. End up getting more turkeys than we did last year just because we know we're going to need more food. So anyone who wants to donate monetarily or pitch in, or we should get a list together and get it together sooner than later of things that we're going to need, like stuffing, potatoes, the oil and the deep fryers and the pots and things of that nature, and the turkeys are, I would say, are under control. But like the side dishes, and it's not going to be like in where everyone brings a covered dish. It's not like that. So we're looking for, I don't care what brand of stovetop stuffing it is. You know what I mean? If we have Tom donates and brings in 5 boxes and Dan Gardner, whatever, as long as, and then we should have a cutoff or a deadline for that, so we know if there's any more that we're going to have to pitch in and get. But we'll get a list together by next week of donations that we'll be receiving, and obviously most of it, powdered mashed potatoes is a non-perishable that should last between now and then. Stovetop stuffing, I know Shane last year had a local butcher shop, I believe, or somebody made, I don't know how many pounds of cranberry sauce, which actually went over, we picked on him a lot about that, but it actually went over pretty good. I know Zach and David Cax and his whole entire family, they pitched in. I know our whole entire team pitched in. That's where Tom and I got really acquainted, was there. Heck, the mayor was there, the commissioner was there. They're actually, I haven't spoke to anyone, but last year the mayor asked me why we didn't ask to close the street down. So sooner than later, I should probably make that phone call and make sure that we can still close the street down, from this time to that time, the day before Thanksgiving.
Maybe we can work out, get some live music out there too, or something.
Something. Yeah. So any ideas, any donations monetarily, mashed potatoes, whatever. We're going to want corn, Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to want gravy. We're going to want, whatever you would want, basically at your Thanksgiving table is what we want to provide to the people of York.
Yeah, man.
So, so I just wanted to start, start throwing that out there that, the second annual 21 Turkey Salute will be held, we decided November 24th.
I believe it is. Let me look at
The day before Thanksgiving.
Yep. Let's see.
Yeah.
So.
Now, while they're looking, can I say something?
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So there was a time in my life when I had gotten out that it was because of people like Ty and the people who donated last year and the people who are going to donate this year, that they were the only reason that I ate. I was sleeping on the park bench. I had nowhere to go. I had nothing. Nothing and nobody. And the fact that, the fact that somebody would go out of their way to help somebody like me, it felt so good it almost broke me inside. So just know that if you're doing that somebody out there is going to feel that same way because of what you're going to do.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for sharing that. For sure, Kenny.
That's good stuff.
It is good stuff, man. That's authenticity is what that is.
Right. I mean, that's why we do it, man. And I had that aha moment when we were putting the roof on at the Christmas Attics.
Yes.
They were serving food that day.
We were hooked after
Just
that.
seeing the 1,000 people out there that are just representing their family members. That's not even on the mouths that are being fed. Just seeing the impact that something like that has. And you have all these people out there that are, where does this food come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It comes from people that want to give it back. You know what I mean? It comes from people that understand, like you say, you got to give it away to keep it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, you know, that's a very humbling experience. And all of a sudden it makes these problems that are so big in your life about that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know what my kids are going to eat tonight.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine trying to do my job every day, wondering in the back of my head what me and my kids are going to eat tonight.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? Like, and there's people out there that work that still live that way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Let alone people that can't get employment. You know, veterans, people that are disabled.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people out there
They
that
just can't make ends meet.
Right.
Because they're trying to support their family or whatever debt they might be in or whatever circumstance, whatever hand they were dealt, you know, in previous years or months earlier. If anyone's welcome to come down here. That's why we say anyone's more than welcome to come down and help.
Right.
And anyone is more than welcome. Bring your family down and eat with us.
Please.
Yeah. Come on down. We're feeding York City.
Yeah, and honestly, man, I mean, I know Zach brought his kids down there. I was tossing the football around with them. I mean, this is a kid-friendly area spot. The more the merrier, man. The more the merrier. You know, if you just want to come help, hang out, even if you just want to come hang out, like just come hang out.
Seriously.
You know, it's a great time. There's a lot of laughter, a lot of good times, and it's just feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Those are the things that we go home and we feel really good about what we did that day, for sure.
Absolutely, man. I think everyone there went home with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Whether you came to get something to eat or those of us that were helping. You know, it was a long day, but I was so energized for weeks after it. It made my Thanksgiving so much better.
Yeah.
That food tasted so much better.
Yeah, man.
You know, it really did. Even after deep frying that many turkeys, I still wanted to eat turkey after that. I really did. I was grateful for every single freaking bite.
Right. Because I don't think that any of us ate any of the turkey.
We didn't have time.
No, like it wasn't. We ran out of food
We
to
did.
give to people. So like, I'm not going to sit here and eat my food in front of somebody that got up and walked the whole way down here
I don't
to get
think any
food.
of us ate.
When I'm going home to eat, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to. There's no way.
No.
There's no way you can do that.
No, it's such a beautiful day too.
It
You know,
was.
and we were in the midst of COVID at that time, but for that brief period of 3 hours, or whatever it took to serve all that food. I mean, we served over 1,000 pounds of food.
Yeah.
You know, that was gone in hours.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, not long hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
3 hours. It was gone.
Yeah, man.
And it was actually gone before that. Other than the turkey, we had to do
Listen,
more stuff.
so it took us 60 minutes to deep fry the turkey, so 2 hours necessarily.
Right.
You know what I mean? That the food was gone. We don't want to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to have leftovers either.
Right.
But to have to turn somebody away wasn't a good feeling, man. Wasn't a good feeling at all.
No. I can tell you one thing, man. When I carved my turkey Thursday, that our Thanksgiving, it went like that.
Oh yeah, you got to practice.
Yes, I did. Yep.
You guys ain't right.
You've seen that one too, man.
Yeah. You guys just don't right. Is that why Tom left?
I think so, man. I think it was him. Nah, man. But yeah. So Bucky, I'm gonna ask you a famous question here that we ask everyone that comes on the show.
Yes.
And the only rule is just you can't say money. Okay.
I can't say money.
You
No
can't
money.
say money. Money is not your answer.
Okay.
All right. What motivates you? What drives you? What gets you up out of bed every day and gives you that energy at 5 o'clock in the morning to buzz the shit outside?
I don't want me or my family to have to eat ramen noodles every day anymore. That's it.
Family.
I'm hungry. A family.
That's pretty much everyone everyone that's here. That's pretty much there.
Yep.
And what's cool is we're all family here.
Yep.
So when you bring that to the table like that, and then you include us into your family, and we include you into our family, you work hard for us.
Absolutely.
We work together. You don't work for me. You work with me. You know, and that's how we all are. We work together. I value everyone's opinion. I listen to what you have to say. I may not like it all the time, and usually those times that I don't like it, it's probably because it's true. You know what I mean? And I know that, but that would be a different circumstance. But I always try to listen to what I value everyone's opinion. You know, and I think that's the difference of we're going to work someplace else where your opinion really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, when we try to explain things, you know, and I'm sure, especially with guys out in the field, they're probably like, why are they doing this right now? Why are they doing this right now? But there is a plan. The plan is to try to make everybody's lives a little bit easier.
Right. Sometimes they get a little harder before they get easier.
Yes.
That's for sure.
For sure.
And it definitely, I mean, I'm not even that far out of being a field guy. I mean, I've only been here 3 years and I came directly out of the field to work here.
Right.
So I was installing roofs. I came from a commercial roofing company. And believe me, I talked all kinds of smack on my management because from my eyes, they didn't know what they were doing. They weren't field guys.
Right.
They weren't out here sweating every day.
Right.
Their processes didn't make sense to me. But once you actually get behind the scenes and see everything that has to go into making the decisions for those processes, it's not always going to make sense.
Right.
It's not always going to make sense.
Right.
But just know that every move that we make in here, 100% is to make their lives easier.
Absolutely.
Not mine.
Now, they may not see that right away, you know, but if, you know, and things aren't always going to be easy, and sometimes we'll do things.
Dude, if it was easy, everyone would be doing this, man. For real, if it was easy, everyone would be doing this.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You couldn't have said a truer statement. But, you know, sometimes we'll try things and it works so good.
Right.
You know, and then we got to make a decision that requires another decision.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that we made a mistake, you know, because we're learning from it.
Right.
You know, and it's never a mistake if you learn from it. And that's how we try to think here. You know what I mean? We try to bleed what we believe out into the field to the guys. Has that always been easy? Of course not. I get it. I understand. Like
your office, and it's like, you know, I just recently started thinking with a in-office mindset. You know, I was always, what's the weather going to be like today? What's this? What's that? Everything has to do with the field guys.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But
Yes.
you know, now you have so many people that you trust in positions that worry about that stuff now, that you can focus on. Okay, you know, who's buying land?
Yeah.
Where, you know,
Yes.
what are the interest rates? What are, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Stuff that is going to excel our business,
Yes.
so that we have something to do
Yes.
in 6 years.
Yes.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
So, it's super important, man. Everyone's position is vital. And unfortunately, you know, you do have some of the guys that go unnoticed more than others.
Yes.
But you usually notice them missing the most when they're not here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And,
For
but
sure.
I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. But it is one big happy family here.
It is.
I love my job.
It's not easy every day, but it is a big family, man. And you know, that's exactly the way that I want it, and that's how I want everybody to feel that they're a part of this. Their voice matters. Their opinion matters, and I want to know, just like Tam, when I think it was her first 2 weeks here. So give me your opinion. What do you think? What do you think? You know what I mean? And she was raw. You know, it was truth. It was authenticity.
Right.
You know, it's what she shared with me. You know what I mean? And it was honesty. You know, and I took it. She didn't bash the company. She didn't bash me, but I kept asking her. I had to dig it out of her. Like, what would you change? You know what I mean? And like, I need this. I'm looking for your constructive criticism. Like, I'm looking because I know your background. There's a reason why I hired you.
Right.
You know, I need to know, what would you do different? What have you guys done where you worked before, where you came from? And she broke it down to me, and she still gives it to me like that.
Yeah, that's important.
It is.
It's important. No,
It is.
You know, we were talking on the show a couple weeks ago. Remember, we were talking about, you know, you have those friends that you got that, you know, will always co-sign everything you say. You know, if it's a great idea to you, they're like, yeah, man, that's a great idea. You know, those are not the friends that you need. You need the friends that are going to be like, that's a really bad idea. You know what I mean? They're going to tell you something that you don't want to hear.
I don't like this kind of.
You know what I mean? No matter what, you know, they're going to be honest with you and upfront with you. You know what I mean? They're going to call you on your crap. They'll tell you when you're wrong, and they'll also be there to support you through the crap. Even if you decide to do the stupid thing and tell you not to, they'll still be there to support you.
Yes.
And through all the good stuff too. But you know, that's the kind of environment that we're trying to put around here. You know, you gotta be able to speak up and say, dude, that's really not a good idea because of this reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it takes a lot sometimes to be able to swallow that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes it's not nice hearing like something that you thought was the greatest idea in the world, having someone to say, no, that is really a bad idea. Here's why it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow.
It is. For sure.
That's just what it is. I mean, ain't none of us ever been in this position before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
We've never been doing what we're doing right now. There's not many people out here to do what we do.
No.
So it's not like you can just pick up a book
Yeah.
and find the 10 keys to success.
Yeah.
That you're guaranteed not going to fail at.
Actually,
You know what I mean?
I found that book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's 6.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta figure out the other 4.
Yeah. 6.
The other 4 ones are blank. That's right.
Yeah. It has been a learning experience, and a learning experience for a lot of us. And like you said, nobody handed this to us, so it wasn't like all the right people were in the right places, and everything was kind of turnkey and was going smooth. And the other meeting we had, I don't know if it was this week or last week, but it's, you know, I told everybody, it's like, I don't want anyone sitting in this room to feel comfortable right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're talking about job progress.
Mm-hmm.
The minute we start feeling comfortable, we're in trouble. Everybody sitting in this room right now needs to feel very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And think about it, that growing pain of including and, you know, with the whole job progress situation has been painful. And there have been times, a couple times, that I thought, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. But if we want to keep continuing to scale, we have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do this. It does so many things. Know your numbers. That's the thing I need. I need to know the numbers, whether it be, you know, what was our ROI on the billboards? What was, you know, our ROI on Google Ads? What was, you know, this tells me all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, today, you said you had a very successful day today with it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I had some fears, man. I've been having some fears, and you know, we got it. I feel like when what I was talking about earlier, when Tam and the other parts of the team that took this from me, at that point in time, we had it successfully running already in the CR world, right? We already had it running successfully in the investment world.
Yes.
Our biggest hurdles were the service world for new construction, which we thought that, you know, the game changer was going to be in with job progress was the new construction world. We're like, this is going to just change everything for us, right? And the sales world. Okay, those were the two beasts, the biggest beasts of our company.
Yes.
You know, that I didn't quite have wrangled, and I was burned out. You know what I mean? I was burned out trying to get everything going because there's so many moving parts. Not to mention, you know, my 50, 55, 60 hours I got to put into my regular duties.
Yeah.
On top of all this other stuff that, you know, is constant attention, making phone calls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On something that we've never done before. You know, it's similar to a system we already had, but it's not at the same time. Otherwise, we wouldn't be using it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, you know, one of my big fears was, you know, I got 3 years, over 5,000 jobs of information in one system. You know, what happens if I just ditch this system and go with this new system, and I got a warranty request on the job that we've been to. I got no pictures anymore. I don't know what we did last time. You know, what if a siding guy calls out something that tries to blame something on me, and we have a $10,000 back charge for a leak, and I can't prove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that go on in my head, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like I'm dragging my feet now. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to be the bottleneck because I had fears on doing this, and today, you know, we finally launched it. We got it on everyone's device, and we just said, I went through some struggles this morning, man, and I was this close to pulling the plug on it this morning because we could not get it figured out. We couldn't get something to load right on the phones. The addresses wouldn't pop up on the guys' devices, and I'm like, well, that right there is a game changer. Like, we can't do this. If they don't know where they're going, I can't send my guys out driving all over the state of Maryland not knowing. It's bad enough in new construction. Addresses as it is.
Don't come up anyhow.
Right, but now I'm not even going to give you one of them.
Right.
I got to give you guys something. So I ended up finding a fix for that. You know, we had an issue where I was like, okay, well, I got this billable service, you know, that we got to make sure that we bill our customers for. How do we market in the system that it's a billable service? Because, you know, we do 50 to 60 services a day in here. How do I know that these two are billable? How does the guys in there know? Like, I'm not the one that sends those bills out. We have people that we hire that keep watching this stuff. Our old system, we'd be able to tag it as a billable service, they would get a notification, right? Well, this system doesn't have that, so we thought of a way around that on tagging them in an area that notifies them when the service is complete. So if they're tagging it, they know it's billable. There's the only reason that they can be tagged in it. And throughout the day, we had some problems that came up with the guys, and we worked through them. And from what I could tell, the notifications that I was getting today, guys were rolling.
Nice.
Between that and company cam, everything was working well together. We were able to get our pictures. We were able to put notes. Giovanni called me up and was like, "Hey man, like when I mark something complete, I can't put a note. So what happens if I go to a leak and I want to say, step flashing or something, or step flashing was taped, or there was pump jack holes in the roof, or a shingle blow off. Like I can't put any notes in here. All I have to do, all I mark is complete. So now tomorrow when Chris gets a phone call from the warranty guy, he wants to know, hey, what was wrong with Mrs. Jones' roof? I'm going to say, I don't know. You marked it complete though. You know what I mean? So we were able to find out. We can go into the job and pull up a note that's linked to the job and write a note in there. Service on 8/25, found blown off shingles on Mrs. Jones' roof. Repaired. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be little hurdles, but I'd say overall it was a big relief, man, because everything went good. Everyone ran it all day, and there wasn't an issue that came up that I wasn't able to solve on the fly.
Nice.
And as a matter of fact, I was actually able to do things better and more efficient throughout the day as things came in.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whereas before I had to find a spot. The Wi-Fi on my truck is sometimes finicky, so like I had trouble connecting to our server back here to get on data form how it was.
Yes.
And it was just a lot more of a process to add stuff. So what I would end up doing is taking a shortcut, and I just call the guys and say, hey, while you're in here, go to this slot, do this.
Yeah.
Well, that's all fine and dandy. It works, but 6 months from now, I can't prove who was on that job site because I don't remember that phone call I made 6 months ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So. It's little things, man. It's little things that I was hesitant to, just try.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
We have one day that we don't have any record of.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? But it wasn't even like that, man. It went great. So hopefully, the guys got confidence in the system. I now have the confidence that the guys can do it.
Yeah.
So hopefully, that works. And like we were chatting about out there. If we do, the idea of this is to get this thing running, get this to be a well-oiled machine to the point that we can duplicate it somewhere. So, we can go down to South Carolina, we can open up a TC Backer shop, hire people, teach them the way on how we are successful here, and it's the only way that they know. You know what I mean? Right now, it's tough for guys like me, guys like Tyler, guys like Colin who have been through all the systems.
Yes.
They were here when we were writing paper tickets. Then they went through the struggle of learning data form and going through all that stuff. And now everyone's mastered that. Now we're pulling the rug out from under them again.
Yes.
Here, let's try this system.
Right.
And a lot of these guys are probably like, dude, when is this going to end, man? Like, are you guys going to be happy with this? Well, yeah. But, this, every time that we get comfortable with something, it seems like there's something with it that keeps us from growing that where the rest of the company
it's the learning curve of it. It's change. Nobody likes to change, whether it be good change or bad change.
Right.
And again, you were talking about, Tyler and Colin and those guys have been through these processes, but each one was an improvement. Did they like it at first? Probably not, but I can guarantee they did after once they learned how to do it. And I really feel like this process is easily duplicated, like you said. We can keep our finger on the pulse of this thing anywhere, from anywhere. And that's what's cool about it. It's an app on your phone, like you said. It's very user friendly. You didn't have to, pick up the server from everything.
I assigned two services in Highlands today within 45 seconds of each other, driving on 695 for myself.
Awesome.
Like, what?
Yeah, man.
I'm literally driving in traffic on 695 and assign services to my guys with one hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how easy this system is.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? So now, don't get me wrong. There is going to be times, like let's just say I get an old leak that pops up on something that was prior to that or to job progress that doesn't exist. I'm not going to go do that quick.
Right.
That's going to require me to call back to the office. Hey, I need you to create this job. I'm going to send you an email.
Yep.
I need you to give me guts on this, and then I can assign.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that doesn't
But
mean they
there's
can't
a process.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? We know the process. We know what we have to do in order to make this thing work right.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
absolutely.
Very much so. So yeah, more shout outs. I see Jana's on there. Good to see you. Who else? That was it.
Todd Rawhauser.
It is Todd Rawhauser. Raw dog.
Although, I was going to say that, but I don't know if you called him that or not.
Yeah, I did. I did. For duties, actually. and everything. He was the guy that told me I had cut siding. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. He's got some of our original T-shirts.
Oh, yeah?
Something. He's got something he showed me one time. Yeah, insane.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, it is. Good dude. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
so,
all okay, man. Gio, good to see you. Tyler's in there. Big stain.
There's my bake stain. Dude, you're like 3 weeks late on that, bro.
Yeah, he is.
You went like 3 weeks without dropping a bake stain in here. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed in you.
Yeah, man. Drop the ball.
I thought he was trying to come up with something new. That's why we didn't hear it for a while.
No, dude, you can't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
That's right.
I like bake stain. I liked it for a long time, and Ty actually told me what it meant one time, and I was like, dude, don't call me that. I don't like that.
Just don't think about it that way, man.
Yeah, man.
Little live interruption.
I know what's going on here. Boy, that's the first in a while. There it is. Back.
How's that?
Yeah.
Good. Did Tommy send you anything this
He
week?
did, but he didn't attach it.
Oh, he didn't catch it.
No.
Bummer. Okay.
Gotcha.
Maybe we'll get Tommy up here in the next week or two.
Yeah, it's
We should get Kevin Dingus, one of our newer hires, on here as well. Bucky thought that he was just going to hang out in the shadows tonight.
Yeah, he thought he was going to sit back here with me, but
Yeah, I was going to sit back there with him.
he learned how that works.
Yeah, and
real quick.
also, I want to throw out there, I want to see what the viewers have to say about this, what you guys think. We've been talking about doing a show in the factory or in the shop for Frank's Granite and Marble. With Carmine Pantano. He does the Buy Local Coalition, big time involvement in the community, and also runs probably, like, if not the best, one of the top granite companies on the East Coast. Big time granite guy.
Yeah, he is.
And he wants to bring us into his shop so we can see the process of cutting granite, how this stuff is made. So that can be an on-site shop. So if anyone's interested in that, throw some ones in the comments here.
Yeah.
Because that is going to take some planning and some prep work to get that to drop and then get that to run smoothly. So if it's something that you guys are interested in, man, throw some ones up in the comments here because I want to see the interest in that. But we had him on the show one time before back here. It was a great show.
It was.
He's very involved, like I said, very involved with the community.
Yep.
He's really big on the buy local thing. Anytime that any local businesses in New York open up, I mean, he's one of the first ones that are going to eat there. He's going to, give you clout on Facebook, all that kind of stuff. He's a big supporter, no matter how big or small you are in the community of York. For sure. And he does a lot of stuff, and there's not a lot that goes on in York without that man knowing about it. So they call him the mayor. He's not really the mayor, but his nickname around York is the mayor.
Yeah.
So if anyone's interested in that, definitely throw some ones up because I know that's going to be a really good show. He talked when I went to Marky's event at the ball field. I talked to him for probably 25 or 30 minutes straight of just industry challenges, stuff that he's been facing, stuff that we've been facing, and dude, the guy's got a lot of information, a lot of good stuff to talk about. So that would be a really exciting show, I think. Not to mention, just to see these giant slabs of wood, granite.
Yeah, find out where they actually came from.
Right.
Where they shipped from.
Right. That stuff comes over on cargo containers, so I mean, with all the delays that we have going on, I'd imagine his stuff is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So
It's probably worse than our stuff, for sure.
yeah. So look, someone put a 1 in there. I don't need to see 1-1.
That's it.
So that's all I really needed to see.
Yeah.
This one's for you, Gio, and you, Jana. So
That's right.
we'll get some dates from Carmine and get our butts in there. I know he messaged me on Facebook about a week ago and said that his foreman that runs his shop is down 100% to work a long day that day to make sure that we can get the machines running, kind of like Marky did.
Yeah.
You know, he had a couple select employees stay behind and show the process.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Marky to come with us.
Yeah, well, he's got to come.
Yeah.
He's got to come.
Yeah, man.
Just keep them away from the gear.
I would put a potato sack over his head if they did that.
There you
They
go.
won't even be out
Like a
there.
party.
They won't even be out there.
I'll tell you, man, speaking of Carmine, he posted an Italian bakery in Mechanicsburg. It was called La Bella. One morning I woke Tina up and said, we're taking a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, some of the best freaking cannolis I've ever had.
Really?
And look at me.
Legit.
I've had my share of cannolis.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Just being a little bit Italian. As
Just
well.
a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
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 Good stuff.
If you wouldn't know where a good cannoli is, then you would probably where a good cannoli is.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never even had a cannoli in my life, so.
I don't think I've ever had
I
good.
don't even know what a cannoli is.
It's pastry.
I don't know if this is speculate that big, but I'm
You
just telling you.
and I gotta talk, man.
I
Yeah.
mean, we can talk right now, bro.
Right?
So, have you seen this belly button, bro? I need to know what a cannoli is, apparently.
Yes. You do. Actually, I don't think I've ever had a good cannoli.
This is the place to go.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with crab
Try
cake.
that.
Like, I don't know why I don't like crab cakes. I guess I've never had just a good.
Had a good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, next to that place in Mechanicsburg, next to the place Vaccaro's in Baltimore,
Mhm.
hands down the best up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
We get some ones in here now, guys.
We can always.
Yeah,
We
so
got
some
five
popping
now.
up there.
We got 5 ones in here now.
There you go.
Britt said we should go. Gino, Jana,
Jana.
Ty,
I
and
did.
Tim. There we go. We going,
I
man.
guess we're going.
Carmine, if you're watching, man, you better get ready. We're coming.
We're bringing the whole crew.
And I'm telling Marky to drink beer before it comes.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
It's going to be the Marky show then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is the best, dude.
They are the best.
Dude, we literally have the best shows when Marky drinks
I
beer.
know.
Janice, Janice says she makes crab cakes.
Somebody's in trouble.
Ty's in trouble.
I just have not had a good
My man said he's never had a good crab cake.
And I'll pick crabs all day, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is, because crab cakes do not taste like
No.
just crabs.
No.
You know what I mean?
They
So
don't.
if you're thinking it's like, man, I'm going to get this giant mound with that taste,
No.
and it's like, that's not what that tastes
Well,
like.
that's what it's supposed to taste like.
Right. They use too much filling in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Something. I don't know what's up. Like, there's some Old Bay on it or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. But,
Yeah.
there was a place down in Roma, though, that was called Jake's Seafood. That was probably the one that I probably liked the most. It
Yeah.
almost was like they had like a mustard mayonnaise,
Mm-hmm.
cream cheese taste to it or something. It was, I don't know, it was good though. It was just, wasn't, I don't know, I can't explain what they had in it,
Mhm.
but it was different than any other one that I've ever had.
Yeah.
And was probably, I wouldn't have them again because I haven't, but it was probably the best
Yeah.
one.
We need to take
Yeah,
a
next
break.
time you make crab cakes, let me know, man. I'll come over and eat Ty's.
Yeah.
And I'll enjoy it, and I'll tell you it's good, too.
Yeah. I'll eat them.
Look, road trip down to Baltimore, man. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah. I tell you what, Denny came over to the house one time, a few years ago, and he made crab cakes. However, or whatever he did, that was a good crab cake. And that was from scratch, you know. He had good ones, and that was on the fly too. You know what I mean? We were kind of roughing it.
Right.
Camp, like a camp, at fish camp kind of style.
That's right down his alley, man.
Yeah.
You gotta look for the guys with the bellies, man.
Yeah.
The guys with the bellies know how to eat.
Yeah.
You know how to cook too.
Yeah.
And he brought all
Danny
his
makes
own
some
shit
good
to make
stuff, bro. Yeah.
But he had a cooler, like 2 coolers in the back of his truck. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, you're out to come over here anytime.
That's
Oh,
great.
man.
Hey, man.
That's
Good
good
stuff.
stuff, man.
Well, I feel like that was a great episode, man.
Yeah.
I really do. Episode, what, 87?
Yep.
87. 3 more, 90.
It's crazy, dude. 13 more episodes, and we're at 100 episodes.
100.
Dude, we gotta do something crazy. We gotta get like a dunk tank or something for the 100th
Yeah.
episode.
No tank.
Or blow something up, or
Yeah.
Something crazy, dude.
Well, we're in the process of remodeling. So if anybody was wondering why we're where we're at tonight, is because of the flood of 2021. Okay?
The great flood.
If you guys remember us talking about last week, we were sitting in the middle of a creek.
Yeah.
We were not joking. Our
No.
studio's underwater.
Yeah. Yes. So we need to remodel the brand new remodel studio. But we had some other ideas that we wanted to change some things around. I mean, also Vic and I had actually got everything kind of cleaned up and off the floor. So this weekend, I think we're going to tackle some. I'd give it 2 weeks. We'll probably be back in the studio.
Yeah. Dude, Vic told me that we're going to make castle walls out of siding shape and make a moat.
Yep.
Like a drawbridge and shit. It'll be awesome.
Yep. Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah,
Will be there. Yeah. Yep. Super Mario Brothers.
This is my favorite show over here.
Yeah.
Good stuff,
man. But yeah, lots of good stuff coming, man. Lots of good stuff coming. We're going to be annoying you guys over the next 8 weeks about the 21 Turkey Salute. We're going to get the info out there. We're going to come up with some flyers here, get the word out.
Maybe a billboard.
If anyone out there is, wants to take the idea to your work and maybe get your work involved, let's make this thing huge, man. I mean,
for real.
I really don't think that we can have too much food and feed too many people.
No, I don't think so either.
Let's make this thing huge. If there's any businesses that want to link up and help out, the more the merrier.
We can make this as big as we want.
Yeah.
We pretty much got permission from the city last year that we could close down Penn Street, which would add additional parking, additional space for whatever. So between social distancing and the amount of people that we want to come down, and again, we're feeding New York. Okay, bring your family down, bring your kids down. Let your neighbors know. Come on down. Anyone's allowed to come down. We'll accept donations there. Today, tomorrow, up until then, even during, if someone wants to donate, monetarily, we can save that for either next year's, the following year's 21 Turkey, or plan on our second annual food drive. Whatever. We should probably start a nonprofit, but it's something else that we can think about and talk about later, at a later date.
Right.
So.
Maybe another thought might be to start a Facebook page for it. You know what I mean? Just kind of everybody can throw their ideas up there.
That would be cool too, man. Yeah. Just because every year then you can we'll have a moment that we can go back and look at last year's photos and everything will be in one spot.
That's
for that event.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That is a great idea.
That's a really good idea, but
awesome.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll bring that into our meeting Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that and get that on. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Cool.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. As always, everyone that supports us, man, this is why we do it.
Yes.
If you guys have not already, please hop on and like our Facebook page. Hit the bell for notifications so you know that when we go live. We're live every Wednesdays at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Everyone give a huge shout out to Bucky, our newest team member here. I think he's going to be very successful.
Me too.
And finish out you guys' week strong. It's going to be hot the rest of the week, but should be good.
Very good.
Yep. See everyone next week at 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
For episode 88.
That's right. 88.
Yeah. See you guys later.
See ya.